Darroll, did you know that the boy responsible is one of our students? He's missed quite a few days this year, but still, he's one of ours.
I know that.
For what it's worth, Mr. Reed, your type of hands-on mentality might be more appropriate for community work. But in my school, there's no place for it. The district can't be perceived to allow its staff to put their hands on our students and slamming them against lockers.
It seems to me, Miss Harrison.
This was a really strong piece with a clear vision and sense of pathos throughout. No frame was not intentional, and I think that was really important. It really gave us a sense of the environment right from the beginning, where he's from, the people who live there right from the beginning. It just very much reminded me of The Wire, especially just the driving through the neighborhood, which I think is really effective to get us a sense of space and immerse us into the world. Really interesting dive into the ethics and the traumas that we have to try to circumvent, have to try to be resilient and push through and overcome in order to create a new path and a new method forward. But there's just that sense of injustice underneath it, and what do we do with that? How do we deal with that in our systems? I also thought the section of the watercolor and the artistic revisioning was a really lovely foray, and I thought the artistic elevation of that from the harsh realities was really important too. There was just a really nice pace throughout the piece where it gave us space to be able to contemplate and to sit with and to imagine how we would move forward.
The important message of the positive impact that fostering brings, that it manifests better adults, because in a situation where you can't get love and support and groundedness in your life, you're able to find that access. And for those of us who were fortunate and privileged enough to grow up with those things, we know how essential they are into forming a basic, decent human being. So many of us have that inside of us, have this capability, but don't have the means and resources. There's wonderful acting here that displays the significance of what attaining those resources can mean for individuals and for young people as they become the people who grow up and run the world.
This short highlights the psyche of the teachers involved in these school shootings and how sometimes the school regulatory rules don't always protect them, and how it doesn't really seem like there's a place for them to turn in these events. I like the flashbacks because it gave a lot of exposition into this man's background as a foster child himself. And the man that believed in him and sort of saved him and got him out of his own way, which is obviously why he's the man he is now. The piece was a beautiful message to the need for a support system with foster youth, and how having a support system increases their chances of graduation, just increases their chances of being more immersed into society overall. And you really got a sense from the beginning to the end with this teacher, how this was not just, this was important to him. So when he's let go, it's because for him, the students' well-being is so much more important to him than the school regulation, than the red tape, than all the things that, according to their rules, he should have done in the situation. For him, it was stepping up and making sure the student was okay. And when we see his background, we understand why that was so crucial to him. And then we see how he is able to once again save a foster child and be there for this foster child who is going to be susceptible to gang violence, likely because of the way his family is set up. And you see him sort of continuing the cycle.
The story with this film is so emotional and just really, really powerful. I love the actors that they chose. Everybody was so believable and organic. And it just, from the second this film starts, it just kind of grabs your attention and it keeps it throughout the entire film. The cinematography was great. I love what the filmmakers did with the special effects on certain frames. I think that was really creative and really, really well done.
Such an artistic and dramatic accomplishment. The performances were fantastic through and through, every last one of them, which was just heightened by the fantastic writing and direction. Like I said, the pieces, it's artistic and also very dramatic. There's these, sort of interluding pieces, I guess, is this connective tissue between scenes where it gets artsy and creative, and it really works in this piece. And I just thought it was really fascinating to see that all implemented and everything still feel very cohesive, and just have this great story filled with these characters that just felt like real people. It was just really grounded.
So I like the subject matter. I thought the whole, I thought it portrayed the issues that go on with like the cycle of like negativity of like how I was saying about like when a kid doesn't have like supportive adults or whatever in their life, like it just perpetuates. It's just not great environment. I thought it portrayed that issue really well, without being over dramatic or also not pulling punches either. I thought it balanced it really well. Also, when bro said, specifically when he said, if you don't give first time offenders a chance to redeem themselves, history will repeat itself. Top 10 coldest bars I've ever heard. I feel like bro was spitting.
I love the writing and the message of the film to give struggling kids chances to succeed. The performances were all so good, notably the lead, who really wore his heart on his sleeve. I thought the occasional use of black and white really worked, and the editing was excellent. Very encouraging film about the power of positive role models. I appreciated the use of the CGI sepia overlay in a very dramatic scene, and effective soundtrack pieces. Very fitting rap lyrics during the credits.